Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thank you for joining me today for our Be Mine class. So you're going to get a PDF. It is kind of a long one with all details. I decided not only to do the last 3D project, there's actually kind of a fancy fold and a 3D, but I did everything. When I do a PDF for a class, I usually give your measurements and a couple of helpful tips and things, some supplies that we'll be using, but the details are really in the video. So you're also going to get this video emailed to you, and the kits are ready to go. They'll be going out tomorrow. I just wanted to record the video so that, like bingo, I like to make sure I have nothing missing so you receive everything in your kit, and when it's on its way, you'll be ready to create as soon as you receive it. So if you have any questions, do comment on the bottom of the video, like on YouTube. So when you watch the video, if you have questions, you could leave comments there, or you're more than welcome to email me at marcie@marciebesecker.com, and then that way I can get back to you and answer any questions that you might have. I find it easier doing classes like this. That way everybody can participate and do it at their own leisure and not have to be available at any particular day and time, and everybody creates at their own pace, so this really works out best. So let's get busy. So this is what the PDF, whoops, let's just take that out. This is what the PDF is going to look like. It's going to give you all your little details of everything, all your projects, and your box has several pages, okay, so your 3D item. So I'm going to set this aside and just kind of glance at it so I can kind of give measurements as I go, but you're going to get it, so don't worry about it. All right, so here is our first card. Oh, let's just fix this. It's just a little crooked. There we go. So this is our first card. I just love this template. It's just a great way to show some variety of DSP, and again, a different DSP, but with the same. It's got little hearts right there, so it just kind of ties in. And let's just get started and put that together. So here's your kit. Very little stamping. Of course, we're going to need the bee. Oh, I think I need to grab my bee punch, though. I think I've used it a bit. Let me make sure it's not in my bucket. Oh, we're going to do a drawing first, too. I want to make sure that we do the drawing. Here we go. So I know which package to put our little cutie in. So here is our little cutie bee, and it's just a little beanie. It's called a beanie ball, not a beanie baby, because it's just a cute little bee. I gave my grandson one, and I mailed one to my granddaughter, and they just loved it. And I thought, you know what? I had gotten an extra when I saw it, and oh, this one has like a little tiny string right here. I'm going to trim it right here for you. Sorry, I would have done that had I seen it. Look at a little haircut right here. And so this will be going in someone's package. And we're going to draw right now. There we go. There. All cute. No gray hair. That was a little white string right there. All right. So here I have everybody's name in this bucket. They're little tiny pieces of paper. So let me just grab a name. Maria Rendon. Maria Rendon, this little guy is going to go to you. So find this in your package when I mail it out to you. All right, so thank you for everybody participating. I just put the names in today, so if everybody that has been on the list already will have that. I will be offering this internationally. A lot of people have asked about it. So I will be doing the PDF and the video link for those that are wanting to do that. All right, so let's take everything out. Be super careful with all your bits. We did package these up a time ago, so I want to make sure I remember and have everything that we need. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start with our bit here. We're going to do Pool Party. And for the sake of classes, just like I do bingo, I am going to bring in my grid sheet. Oops. A clean grid sheet. And let's go ahead and stamp on here to kind of move things along, and I don't have to be cleaning up during the video. I did just a little buzz line here in the background. You see it? It just kind of comes up and swirls right there and goes. Just to kind of give it a little character. It doesn't have to be everything. So it doesn't have to be everything. Just a sentiment, and that's it right there. I wanted to add just a little bit of color and just a little detail right there. So we'll do that. And then we're going to stamp our Happy Valentine's Day. I had so much fun creating this class. I have my little mat here. I'm going to move this over just a little so you guys can tell I did this. And just a little sneak peek. Look what I did on my mat. I just wanted to know it was mine, and I liked that I could see the letters. So accidentally, my brayer with Melon Mambo touched my mat. And when it did, it left a pink mark, just like if you take your pink, anything pink on your blocks, like, I'll do this one for you right now. I don't think I've done this one. But if you take your Melon Mambo marker, I think I did mine in teal actually. I'm going to do it in teal just because I have somebody else that did Melon Mambo. And so I'm going to take the Azure actually, and I'm just going to go over the white text on my block. And I don't remember if I did marker or blend, but we're just going to do it with marker and see what happens. And then I just took a tissue and I just wipe it off. Yeah, so see, I can still see, I don't know, can you see that? Let's go over white. You can see the copyright thing right there. It's got like a blue tint to it, but that's what I did here. I did it with Melon Mambo, and then I decided to take my stamp pad and I inked it up, and then don't wipe it, just take a paper towel and just blot it off, the excess, and it'll leave this color on there for you. Anyway, so that's what I did. So we're going to bring this in with my ink pad. I like it because your ink pad just pretty much stays, you know, it's not going to go sliding around. And I want that to go right there. I could have done it up just a little farther so that the little swirl was up closer to the top, but it's really okay. I don't mind that. It's just a cutesy little background there. All right, so that's our sentiment. I'm going to go ahead. This is our glimmer paper. All your supplies are listed below. And so I'm going to just glue this on because it is going to glimmer paper. Probably should have added more glue since my class last night. I used all my glue. All right. All right, so we're going to set that aside. All right, now let's go ahead and just adhere these together. So we're just going to put all of our panels together. And I know normally I start on the inside, but I just decided to go ahead and stamp there. If you feel or hear a vibration, I'm getting a spam phone call right now, but oh well, too bad I'm busy, Mr. Spam. All right, so there's one layer. And then let's go ahead and do these layers. When there's a lot of layers like this, I don't mind doing the front at all first, or at least adhere my panels. That way I don't pick up a piece and think it belongs inside on the bottom or anything. So I just want to get all this. All right, so there are our panels. This is to stamp on, so we're going to move that over here. I'll stamp on that in a minute. Let's go to the inside. And the color is Sweet Sorbet. We're going to put this on the bottom. I'm not stamping now. I guess I really don't need this here, and I just got glue on my thing. There we go. Make sure your bees are right side up. And then I'm going to take my little strip here and put that together. I do have a class that I'm considering. Let me know if you're interested. I'm thinking of doing a perennial class with a fancy fold. I've already got one done, and I thought, you know, I should really do that for a class. So I think I might do that. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and layer this up. And I think my goal, I believe, is going to be they're all going to be a fancy fold. It's all going to be kind of a really fun class technique and folds and things like that. So kind of my thought, because I have my second idea already in mind. I just have to figure out my measurements. On one of the items I want to do, well, you're going to get a lot more than 4 projects, but it is going to be, I might have to start out with 12 by 12, so I'm kind of deciding which colors to use for that. All right, there we go. So that's the inside. We have our outside. We know right now where we're at. There's not a ribbon or anything behind or around our panels. So let's go ahead and put this on. Now at this point you could, if you wanted to, take a white piece or something and emboss piece back here, but I like that you can barely see any of it anyway, so I didn't think it needed it. But you definitely could up that and add an embossed piece if you wanted to. That's just going to make your card a little thicker and heavier. And sometimes you just don't want to go too thick, because then we're talking a lot of postage. All right, so I'm just going to put that right about there. Okay, this one's going to be popped up. What I like about doing classes like this too is you can pause, take your time, you know, make sure you're doing it right. My idea is I would watch the video, or at least one card at a time all the way through, just to kind of make sure, see what I do, maybe what I mess up, what you don't want to do, and then make your card. That is probably the best way to do it, because you can kind of just make sure you're on track and everything is kind of what you want. There we go. And now on this one, we are going to pop it up also. We will not pop it up here, but we will pop it up on the bottom. So what I like to do is just kind of get it, figure out where it's going to go. And remember, you're going to have a bee down here. So I'm going to put one right here and one right here. And then I'm going to put glue right here. And you just need a little bit. It's just enough to kind of hold that down. And I'm going to put it, I want it up. I want to see this over here. So I'm going to go up about right there, and then just make sure your happy is straight. Okay, now this is kind of folds down because there's nothing there. I am going to go ahead and put a dimensional there too. All right, just to kind of secure that right there. That's better. And now let's go ahead and add our bow. Why not? We still have to do our bees. We're going to do that in just a minute. So I did your bow. It's a ribbon that comes with the suite. And of course, I like to add just a little bit of glue on each side. And it's just going to go right on your circle. And then here, we can go ahead and add this. My bow, I added a little more to the right, so I'm just going to add my heart like over here. It doesn't really matter. Put it wherever you're comfortable with. I'm going to bring my tweezers in, though, to help. And I'm just going to add that right there. That's the first one. And now I think the rest I'm going to wait until after I put my bees on, just so I can check out all my positioning, because I'm going to put a bee up here and I don't want to put that other heart until I'm ready. So let's do our bees. And I think I have those inks in another bucket here, so let me just get those out. We also need to do the inside, so I'm going to do that really quick. And I did it in black. And right here, it says, "You make my heart buzz." So happy Valentine's Day, you make my heart buzz. So let's go ahead and add that in here. I usually like to stamp before I put it in, just in case I make a mistake. But I forgot, so there we go. See, that's one of those things that's like, you might watch first to see what not to do. All right, so let's do our bees. We need 2 bees, and I don't think I took the faces out on this card. They might be in another card. I have several buckets here. I'm looking for the right colors I need. I need this one, which is Daffodil Delight, and I need Petal Pink, and I have black. So let's start with our daffodil. We're only doing a few, so I don't feel the need to use the punch template like I've done before and stamp everything at one time. I'm not too worried about it. What I do look at is how my bee is. So it's going to go like this, the tails to the right. So when you take the bee, I'm sorry, I have it in another bucket again. I don't know why I put all the important stuff in card number 3 instead of card number 1, but here we are. All right, so we're going to take our, I do the black first, actually. I do the black first because it's easier to see to do your yellow. So I'm going to really ink it up good. Make sure your ink is pretty inky, and then I just move it around so that I get a nice black image. Okay, so you want it nice and solid as much as you can. So I kind of push in there and really move it around to get a good solid image. And then I just hold it a bit, and there we go. All right, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to let that dry a second, and I'm going to bring in my Petal Pink. We're going to move right to that yellow in just a minute, so we're going to just leave that open. All right, Petal Pink, what I do is I take the outside of the wings and I go to like the darker corner to where I get a really good image. I'm going to turn this, and then the heart goes this way, okay, which is the wings. So I just kind of do both the wings like that, okay, and then I'm going to come in with this one, and we need to stamp off with this, okay. So we're going to ink it up and stamp off, and then stamp the wings. Doesn't have to be exactly, you're just giving them a little bit of color. So see the difference? You're just giving them a little bit of color versus no color. All right, so stamp off. Okay, there's something on this one. There we go. Stamp off and stamp on. All right, so there we go. There's our wings. Now we're going to come back over here. I'm going to wipe these off because I don't think they're the same color on another card. Not sure. All right, so we're done with this one. And now we're going to do our yellow. And so now we need the body of the bee. Same thing, it's a solid image. You want to really ink it up, move it around. If this is the first time you're using it, ink it up, wipe it off, and then ink it up again. And then you're going to go to the front of the tail and look on the top and the bottom of your lines. You want to make sure you get it all the way up to the tail and then look at your lines on the top and the bottom and get them as close as you can. Okay, so ink and move around, get it really inky. You want to make sure the whole thing has a lot of ink. And then do top and bottom and tail. And I like to just leave it for just a bit, and then there we go. Okay. All right. So we have our bees and we have our wings. Now the bees' faces, you notice I do one with the winking and one with the little eyes closed. You can choose whichever one you want. And where is my bee stamp set? All right, now, oh, here it is right here. Oh, I couldn't see it. I want to make sure the little faces. Here's one of them. And then I'm going to get the other one because I don't think I took it out. I don't like the creepy face. This one, no, where is it? This one is kind of like, you're not very happy. So I'm like, I won't use that one. I like the happy one. This is a winking one. So we'll do one winking, and the winking one you'll notice is flying. This one is going to be straight up. So let's do the winking one first. And I do everything first just to make sure. And just kind of move that around, get it really inky. Okay, isn't that cute? All right, now we're gonna do the smiley one, but remember you need to turn your paper. Your smiley person is going up, he's flying up, the bee. All right, so there we go. And you don't need to push it when you stamp. Just stamp down and hold it. You don't need to smush it because remember these little tiny lines are going to kind of spread when you push them, and then they'll just have this weird looking face, and you don't want that. All right, so now let's cut these out. So we're going to cut the hearts out first. They're on the top of our punch. My hand is a little sore. I did a lot of punching for something recently, and my hand is right here hurting really bad. So I'm just going to kind of get through these. All right, so we have our wings. Uh-oh, look, we need another wing. This guy has two, so that's what we need to focus on. And I forgot. So now we're going to go down to the bee and just kind of center it the best you can. And this is where those little hearts came from, or right here. And that's where these little hearts came from. But I did those for you in your package. All right, so there's our next one. And then we need one more set of wings. So let's do that. I forget that sometimes. Back to petal pink. There's that. Ink that up good. Stamp it off. There we go. Give it a little bit of color. You don't need a whole lot. You just want to color it in a little bit. All right, and then we need that wing. And this makes a beautiful flower. Do a bunch of these in a row like this and just layer them up. Overlap them. Here, let me try and use both hands. Would help. So just kind of layer them like this and go all the way around. Look what a pretty flower. And then just put a center in the middle of your flower. So this could be like a daisy kind of flower. And then just put a center. Not a heart, but you know what I mean. Be really pretty. All right, so I'm looking, these are close to the same color. This one's a little darker. So we're gonna go with the darker guy right here and do his leaf separate. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of glue. If you guys watched my bingo, you noticed that I lost the tab to the project that I was working on, and it's right here. I just had it, and look, I lost it again. I wasn't going to show you, but I just thought about it right now. But I found it. It was right after the class, of course. And then I put the wings, I try to kind of line them up between here and here. And I also go right up to, kind of up to where the heart's at, because you really want to make sure it's on the bee. So I like to go right to the black line there, and then here, and then up to the heart a little bit. So there's our one guy, he's done. And now this little guy, same thing, but on the sides. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And we're going to dimensional them on anyway, so you don't need a whole lot of glue, just enough to hold them. So again, I'm going to go right about there. Okay, so again, you're going to see that it's kind of starting right where that line is, and that's where you want that. I guess I could bring this in. There we go. And now we're going to pick this guy up and bring that in. And go right there. Same thing, starting about right there, or just close, and put him there. All right? All right, so now we have our card, and now we're going to put dimensionals on our bees. So I did one here and one here just to keep the wings on. I did one on the bottom, one on the top, and then I did half ones. I just did halves, and I did those here. And you don't have to do that many. You could just do the top and bottom, it'll be fine, but because these are going to be dimensioned on, they're not going to go anywhere. But I like to add a lot on things that are on the top there. Now this one, notice that, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This one right here we don't want. Let me take that back off. Just roll it off. Because, see, his little tush here is going to go up on top of this panel. And so you don't need another dimensional right there. Yay. Same as here, you don't need it right up here by the face or way up on the wing. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put one right here, and like right here, and then I'm going to put I'm going to do some half ones again. So I'm going to take a half and put it down towards the bottom here, because this is going to be kind of up on that panel, and then I'm going to do the wings. And you can use little ones if you want to. I just happen to have these right here, so I'm going to use these. All right. So let's do this guy first. He's going to go up here. Oh, we didn't do our little antenna. Oh, we got to do that. So let's do our antennas for both of them. Silly me. I always forget the antennas. On all the bee stuff I've been doing, I forget the antennas. But I'm going to show you something that you could use. And you're going to see it in your kit when you get it, because I did a little thank you card with the thought. Oh, I don't have it right. Oh, yeah, I do. So look what I bought. I have some of these. They're little stamens. And if you take some, and you'll see it on your thank you card because it was afterthought that I did it. Actually, my upline did it, and I was like, ooh, that's brilliant. So I put it on my thank you card to you. And then you can just glue them in the back, and look how cute the little stamens are. So you can do that on your cards if you want. These were like $6, and these are going to last forever. I was concerned that they were white because they looked black on the inside. Online. I got them off of Amazon, but the white all hides behind anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But those are a really cute way to do some stamens. So, but we're going to do ours in black ink because that is what you'll have. All right, we're going to just do that. I'm going to do another one because his left one's not very dark. There's one. There we go. All right. And a quick fussy cut out because silly me, completely spaced on these. And obviously you don't have to put them on there, but it sure looks cute with them. I would recommend doing it. It is a little bit of fussy cutting. All right, and then I leave a little stem on there because it's easier to have something to glue. Okay. And it doesn't have to be super close. You just want to have those sticking out there. I'm laughing right now because I have a delivery coming because I didn't want to go to the store because I needed to get this done and I was working on some other stuff. And I ordered some frozen protein waffles, which they're really good. I like them. But they're going to be delivered right now. And I was like, uh-oh, they're going to be at my door because nobody's here. But that's okay. All right, so let's put our little antenna on here. All right, so I can tell you right now I can feel that it's underneath that. So put them on before you do your dimensional. So I'm going to lift my dimensional up. There goes my backing. See how good our glue is? It's already stuck. All right, we're going to put that on, and you can cut it too if you need to. I need to really pull it up a little bit better because my little guy's antenna is a little longer. All right, now I'll put that back because it's already sticky. The back came off. There we go. See how cute he looks with them? Gotta have him. All right, then this little guy, his little antennae are gonna go right there. So same thing, we're gonna put a little bit of glue. Oh, you guys, I have to sign for this. I'm so sorry, this is terrible. I'm gonna have to take a quick break. This is embarrassing. I forgot. My husband got wine on this order and I have to sign for it. So when the guy comes to the door, I have to run out there. Dang it. I am so sorry. All right, he's not here yet. Okay. Gee, that is embarrassing. Okay, so we're gonna take this off. Life, right? And my helper was here today and she was helping me. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue on the back of the antenna just because I don't want them to bend, just a tiny bit. And I'm gonna put this right here. And she came and helped today and she just left. And I'm like, okay, when she leaves, gotta get the video done, gotta do it. And so here I am. I totally forgot about my delivery. Oh well. I hope you'll understand. It'll take 2 seconds, but I'm gonna wait till he comes to the door. I'm watching my Ring doorbell. Now this one, if you wanted to, you could add a little adhesive right there. But I'm not going to unless I feel like I need to, but I don't think we need to. So I'm just going to put this little guy right here. Notice I'm putting him a little more over here than up here because this is higher, so it's a little less space between these two, and I think that's going to be fine. That cord that you saw behind me in the beginning of the video was my heater because it was freezing in here, and now it's hot, so I just turned it off. But that's what that cable was that you saw. All right, we're going to drop that right there. And then we'll do another one. Such a fun card. This set is so much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And I'm just going to put that just in that open white space right there. All right, and now you have 2 or 3 hearts. Some could be the same shape, some could be different. It doesn't really matter. So I am going to take this and put it, you guys are probably going to hear my dog because the delivery person just showed up. We do a Walmart delivery, and I'll tell you what, during COVID, we kind of did it a few times, and it actually, we decided to do the subscription for it, so it's like $99 for a year, and as long as your order is $35 or more, then they bring it to the door. So sometimes, like if I'm in the middle of baking or cooking or whatever and I need something, or I forgot something or whatever. Okay, well, I'm having a hard time getting this straight, but I want to before I go answer the door. And so we decided, you know what, it's kind of worth it because it's really inexpensive if you're going to be, you know, ordering stuff now and again. I hate going to Walmart, but they have such good prices. So I don't mind ordering last minute stuff. Okay, this one's just not on straight either. There we go. Much better. Okay, he's coming. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. so sorry. You guys are awesome. I am so sorry. Thank you so much. What a silly thing to forget. I ordered super early this morning, and right now was the first time they could come today. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. That'll work. So, okay, last heart. We just need to put this on. And look how cute. Super cute little card. You make my heart buzz. Number 1, card number 1. I hope you enjoyed it, even with that little quick break. So sorry. All right, so let's move on to card number 2. That was card number 1. And again, all the measurements and everything. So right here you'll see the colors that I used. Oops, let me just back out a little bit. The colors that I used, the measurements, the DSP inside what I used. So you should get all of your stuff here, kind of what we used on this. And so each card is kind of gives you that idea on there. All right. Second card has a lot of really great things. It's a lot of punches that are different punches than you would think that you would need to use. And I don't get rid of punches. So this card was a great card to use those things on. So let me show you. So I wanted to make a cute little jar, and I liked these new dies, which these are on the Nested Essentials, I believe. And I just like those a lot. And so I wanted to use up some ribbon and a little bit of different paper. And then on the inside, you're sweet as honey. So be mine and you're as sweet as honey. You could add a bee on here if you wanted to, but I kind of wanted to make it a little different, because if you don't do the be mine, you could just say thank you and maybe give it with a jar of jelly or jam or jalapenos or, you know, whatever that you have. That this could be kind of more of a baking project than, you know, a Be Mine Valentine kind of thing. So I'm going to show you what we did. So here is kit number 2. Gosh, I'm so embarrassed about that grocery thing. That was just silly. And I should have waited for that. I didn't even remember. Okay, so we're going to move all that over. Let's do the inside first. So like usual, I like to add, and I think you can look at each one. I think I added the red. We're going to do the red here in the front as a strip. And so we're going to do that also on the inside. Card number 3 and project 3 and 4 are both going to be a fancy fold and a 3D item that I just love. All right, we're going to put that right there. And then add our little yellow strip here. And one of my cutters, when I cut a lot of paper at the same time, I get like, this is just a little longer than it's supposed to be, but we'll just trim that up. But I have a whole stack, and so sometimes I think too is the cutting could be right on the 4 versus right next to the 4 for the 4 inches. So it's okay. It's such a tiny amount that it really doesn't make a big difference anyway. All right, so let's add this. So I had a team member that was going to do, she got the mat and she said, well, I don't need it. So once we're able to sell it, she said, I think I'm just going to sell it. I don't want it. And then messaged me today and she said, oh my gosh, my stamping on that mat is so great. It makes stamping so easy. She goes, I am not getting rid of it. She thought it was too big for her craft space. So she was kind of thinking she wasn't going to be able to use it. And so today she was like, I made space. It works great. I'm like, okay. So she was really happy about that. All right, so there we go. We have our inside piece, and we stamped it with You're as Sweet as Honey with Sweet Sorbet. So let's just do that now so I don't forget. You're as sweet as honey. Again, you could stamp ahead of time, but I forgot, so we're just gonna make sure your stuff is straight. There we go. You're as sweet as honey. All right. Now my husband just got home. He's probably going to forget that I'm doing a video. And he's going to walk in, so we'll see. Especially if I'm not talking. Okay. So now we're going to take our panels. And let's just start with our panels right here. So we're going to go ahead and add that there. Out of he didn't walk in, so he must remember. Oh. All right, so we're going to add that. And just center it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take, I did a piece of yellow, which is crushed curry, not Daffodil Delight. And then we're going to take our DSP. Remember I told you we used the red. And we're going to just add that on here. So let's just glue that on here. And just to add some accent on here and have it lined up to the edge. Did you guys hear him knock on my door? He knew I was doing a video. He just kind of knocked like, it's me. All right, so we're going to do that. And now we're going to add this in the center here. Wherever, you know, is comfortable. This is going to be in the middle. So you kind of want that to be towards the middle too. So we're just going to leave that for now. And we'll do that towards the end. But we can also add our bow now, our ribbon. This ribbon doesn't fray. So what's nice about it is I forgot to add it. And so I just cut it on the edges. And it's adhered down very well. So if you don't want to wrap it, because it does give it that extra bulk, you don't have to. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this now, and then I'll show you how I did it. So I'm going to put a strip of glue down the side, and it's from here to here, and I'm going to put it right down the middle. You know what? You know when you're getting old, my niece just texted me. I haven't seen it yet. It just popped up on my phone. But my niece just messaged me and said, I'm working on a family tree. And that's all I saw. And so she's going to ask me something about family and whatever. And I'm thinking, am I that old one now that everybody, people are going to come to me and start asking? Because, you know, both of my parents are gone. And I do have an older brother. But I'm just laughing inside thinking, oh boy, I'm doing a family tree and I don't know who anybody is. Do you know who these old people are? And that's going to be like me trying to remember. All right, so I'm going to set that aside, but see how I just cut it on the edge? I mean, it doesn't really fray or anything, so it's kind of nice. This one I didn't cut very well though. So it's totally up to you. If you want to wrap it, you sure can. All right, so we're going to get rid of that. The other thing I did is we're going to take our jar. So I have this jar here, and then I have this one. So this one is from the jar punch. This one is from the vintage bottle punch. Okay, what I did with this one is I kind of went, you know, put it in here, kind of the spacing that I wanted. And I kind of want to go like right around here. So I'm just going to take this and just kind of curve it and just start curving right back up. Just ever so slightly. Okay. So just a slight curve is like a label. So it's okay if it's a little off. Don't even worry about it. you know, a little too much one way or the other. You don't have to worry about it. All right, so let's take this and we're going to do our 3 little hearts in our rich sorbet again. We're going to add just a little something to the front here. Oh, you know what? We don't want to do that yet. Let's do the Be Mine first. Did I not take that out? Oh yeah, here it is. All right, so here's the Be Mine. So here's the secret with this, is you want to do each word separately, okay? So let's do this. We're going to do the B. B-E-E. So make sure you just take it. Oh, you can't see. All right, I'm moving that over. We're just taking it like this, and we're going straight with the B-E-E, okay? You do not want mine to have any color on it, all right? And then just put that in the middle, but put it down because you're going to put your hearts up there. So, B. Okay, so there's the B. Now, what you want to do is you want to wipe it clean, but you also want to get that wetness off of it. So either take a tissue, sometimes I just do it on my skin, and then do it on some paper just to get that extra anything off of it. Now I'm going to take the Mine back on and get that. So you have Be Mine, make sure you ink it really well, and then make sure you don't have anything else on it. And I'm going to do Be Mine. Okay? So there you go. You don't have to worry about getting both on there, but you do have to make sure you not only clean it, but dry it off, okay? Now let's do our little hearts. It's funny when you're doing a video like this, you know, you're recording and you're doing it, okay, your hearts are like, the ones on the left and right are a little wonky, so make sure you look at the one in the middle. That's the one that you want straight, because the other ones are going to be fine, just kind of cutesy and off to the side a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. But we're also going to add that heart in the middle there. And now I forgot what I was just saying. I don't know. I'll go back and watch it and remember. All right, we're going to just kind of... All right, so there's our cute little heart. So see how we changed up these punches? This is going to be a jar. Look at this. It's the ice cream. It's the ice cream. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this on here like a cute little topper. All right, and then we're going to measure it. So before you glue it, put it on here. Think about how it's on. You want to see the tops of your jar right here. So put it on and just kind of hold it right there, like that's where you want it. All right, and then turn it over, and you can glue it first if you want, but you don't have to, because what you want to do is you want to come up like this from that little, and just kind of go around a circle and go straight across and then around the corner again. Okay, so that it looks like it's the top of a jar. Okay, and now we can go ahead and glue that. You only need a little bit. Let's put that right here. Okay, and then you'll see where your space comes down a little bit right there. That's where you want to put your string. So we'll worry about that in just a minute. Let's put the front of our jar on. And just kind of put that right at the front of your jar. How cute. All right, so now what I did is I started in the front, and you could put a little glue dot right there if you wanted. So like what I'm probably going to do is I'll take a little glue dot. Just enough to hold my string, and it's going to hold it right there. So right in between those two little edges right there. Okay, so we're going to put this in half. And then just put it right there. And you can always remove it if you don't want it there once we're done here. And then go around with your string and then come back. And I can tell you that I cut my little thing down a little too far. So I'm going to make a little slit because I cut mine too. I needed to go up a little higher. I'm just going to cut a little tiny slit so that my string stays right where I want it to go, at least the first string to hold it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to put my string right there, pull it a little firm because you want it to hold. All right. And then come around and you're going to want to tie a knot. And then you can tie your little bow. All right, so I obviously did mine way too short right there, but because I kind of forgot about it. All right, so I'm going to put my knot, not my knot, but my little ribbon right there, my twine right on that glue dot. And then make yourself your little bow. And then bring it down. Just make your bow however you want it. And I'm going to add a little tape in the back of that, so I'm not too worried. But see how this one looks so cute? Because I left some space, more space at the top. This one I didn't, but that's okay. We're going to cut these down. And because I did mine so short, remember I told you watch it before you start in case you goof up. You're watching me goof up and you're learning what not to do. All right, so I'm going to add this tape right here just to hold. This is just that tear and tape, just to hold my ribbon on. So there we go. All right, so we don't need that. And now we're going to go ahead and put these together. My stomach's been growling all day. My friend was here helping us, doing some die cutting and getting some things ready. And we were laughing because my stomach was growling so much, and we had just eaten and it was still growling. I think it's just, it was happy because I had lasagna. All right, so we're gonna add this on with Oops Dimensionals also. So it's not too big, so I'm just going to put one in the middle. All right, and then we're going to take this off. We are going to adhere this. The next card's going to have a lot of technique to it, so I'm excited about it. It's a fancy fold, but it's a lot of fun. All right, we're just going to put that right about there. I laid it. I did not push it down because we're going to just kind of see. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Now we're going to lay this right about here. Okay. And now we're going to put our jar. Now in your kits, you're going to get a pack of gems. And it's not the gems that come with the suite because you have those. Because you should have the suite to do these cards. But I gave you a package of, let's see if I can find mine because I need them. Oh, you know what? They're over here. You're going to get a package of these because I use these quite a bit on these projects. Notice I tried to keep with, on some of them, I tried to keep with the colors, and I really like the black that it pops. So we're going to do a large one right here, And then a small one right here, just kind of add that. And then I added another small one up here because you've also got that pretty little red heart right there. So isn't that cute? So throw those over here. I have them going on another project. I love those gems. I use them for so much. The silver, gold, and black sparkle. Anything that blings, and those match with a lot of stuff. Yes, yes, yes. All right. We're just going to center that on. And there we go. So isn't that a cute card? And you used a little bit more on how to use that vintage die. You could use it as a label on your jar punch. I mean, the vintage bottle punch. And just use a little more ribbon right there, a little accent. It's that petal pink that kind of goes in with the rest of the petal pink. Use your ice cream cone, ice cream. Remember to go up and leave yourself a little bit of extra, not like I did. And then I could have done that and not put the bow, just tied a bow and put it on there. I didn't have to wrap it around, so think of that too. So anyway, just some, some fun ideas with some different products that you probably have around. All right, so that was card number 2. Yay! Card number 3 is going to be a fancy fold. I need to move this out of my way here. And take a little drink. Okay, so card number 3. We're going to be doing some coloring. We're going to be doing a little bit of embossing. But look how cute this is. It's just it's a mini slimline, but it's just so cute. So again, you're going to get all the measurements and everything for it. On this one, I did garden green, and I decided to change it up because I thought that the shaded spruce would just pop more and just look a little, I don't know, more cheerful and a little brighter. So I decided to change that up. So we're going to do that. So here is the kit. Be careful of your flowers, especially when you're going to be doing some embossing. If you don't have embossing tools, you could just stamp the back. You do not have to heat emboss. So let's just get all of those out. There's our flowers and our leaves and our branches. Let's make sure we don't lose any like I did the other day. Let's move them all over here. I do have some adhesive here, so I'm going to wipe that off really quick with some alcohol. Super simple. I just like to wipe it. It dries so fast because it is alcohol. I want to get all the adhesive off while we're going to a new project here. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to do clear embossing, but let's do our bees first. So let's look at our card base. This was in the back. I'm going to set that aside. All right, so on the inside, you're going to have your black strip here with your sentiment. Let's just go ahead and do our sentiment now. You're as sweet as honey. You're as sweet as honey. I used this earlier with a sweet sorbet. It looks like I got it all off. I just wanted to make sure. And so we're going to use black with that. I'm just going to ink that up and center this the best you can. It goes pretty close to side. All right, you're as sweet as honey. And let's go ahead and adhere it. And this is the part that we're going to stick right here, and so it pops up and holds our card up. So because my fingers are so big and this is a little piece, I am going to hold this right here and just kind of, so I can eyeball it better without my hands in the way. Well, that didn't help much for me. Let's do it on the top. There we go. Much better. Because then I can kind of start putting it down with my hand. All right, there we go. All right, so there's our inside piece. So we're going to set that aside. All right, now on the inside, we have our yellow and then our white piece. So let's go ahead and take our white and let's stamp that, which we're going to do our sentiment here. We're going to do a little swirl, but let's do our honeycomb down here first. And we did that with crushed curry that I just had. All right. And this is just stamped. We're not embossing the inside. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back in. And I just stamped. You don't have to stamp, you know, any particular way if you don't want to. But I kind of like to have them as close as I can to being on the inside together. So we can just, this one can go right inside. Ooh, how did I do that? Like this. Because it doesn't have to go all the way up, but I kind of want it across the bottom closer to each other. So you can just kind of move your pieces around. They don't have to be exact. So what I do is just kind of line them up. It does not have to be exactly. But you just want to add some of your honeycomb on here. I'm going to do it this way. Not funny. There we go. So I just want to add some. Obviously, you do not have to have them line up or anything, but if you do really want to, you know, take the time to line them up exactly, then do. All right, so then our little sentiment is going to pop up about here to hold your card up. So now we're going to want to bring in our little zigzag, this one here. So we're looking at this with the black. So I'm going to do it to where this is just going off the edge here. So remember, this is about here. And I'm going to have this go right about there. Okay? So now we can put our little honey here, our little sentiment. How cute is that? So we'll put that on last. All right, so let's move this over. Now for the front, we're going to have your yellow on the front. Oh, wait a minute. No, this goes in the back. This goes here. This is going to go on the front. So let's move this out of the way. I'll move that up there. So this is going to be on the front. We're going to be doing some embossing and stamping and stuff. So we're going to set this aside and let's get our stamping done. So let's do our bee again. We're going to do 2 bees. So again, lots of ink. I firmly press so I can get a good image because this has like a little hash, like a print, or it picks it up from the stamp. So I just want to make sure it gets really inky. Okay, so there's the 2 there. All right, and now we're going to do our wings, and we're doing our wings in black this time. We're doing 4 wings. Okay, we're going to do 4. So here's 1, 2. Remember, we're turning them a little sideways because that's how the punch works. And then let's put one over here. We'll do that one last. Oh, you know what? That might, oh no, it'll be fine. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to take the inside of our wings. And we're going to use Balmy Blue. Right here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do the bottom. There's a couple things you can do. You can do the whole thing, or you can just do a little bit. I like doing the whole thing like I did on the other one. You can stamp it off. 2, 3. So kind of, if that's super light, that is semi-light. So what I like to do is I'm going to do 1 and a quick 2. And then I'm going to do it. So you can definitely see a color. Okay, but it's just not super dark. So I do a 1 and a quick 2. So it takes off just enough, but it's not a full second one. 1, 2. Okay, so you give it, it's just having that little bit of a glow. 1, 2. All right, so there are those. Now the next thing, I'm going to wipe this off because I don't think I used blue again. All right, the next thing is we've got to have our little antennae. I think that's if it's one antenna. We have 2. So we're doing antennas. And we're doing 2. No, this one doesn't have one. See, this one's going downward now. So I guess you could put one right here at the top, but yeah. So we're going to do 1. And we'll do that like right here. Okay, so we're good with that. Everything is stamped. Yes. All right. So bringing back our punch. Oh no, we need to do our body. We're going to do our Daffodil Delight. For our bee body. Now remember, the thing about this is you can pause and fast forward and all that you need to do. So, all right, again, look at the tail and the top and the bottom. I kind of look at the tail and then I look at the top and the bottom and then I move just back a little bit towards the tail so that it touches the tail. You don't want to have a gap. And I'm going to show you, if you have a gap, what to do. I'd rather go over the tail a tiny bit than to have a gap. Because if you back up just a little bit, you can see the little part of the tail just start to show under the stamp. That's when you want to stamp it, because you can't see it anyway. So let's just say that you stamped and there's a space. If you have one of these blending tools, then what you want to do is just pick up a little bit of your yellow and just kind of color that little spot in just a little bit. Okay, so you can see, you can just pick up just enough yellow to cover that, get that spot in. And then just make sure you mark, take your ink off. All right, so there's that. So those are done. And now we need our faces. And they're both going to be the cute little eyes closed face. All right. Oh, look, I knew I had it here. Let's see if I can pick it up. Look, there it is. If you guys watched Bingo the other night, or no, not Bingo, the video last night. All right, so one of them is going to be flying, going that way. So let's go ahead and give this one a cute little face. And then this one is going downward. So we want her to go down. Now, if you notice what I did differently on this one, look at her little eyelashes. Okay, you want to do one short little lash and one longer little lash. So let me show you. I take my black marker. I have both of them right here. So I want to make sure I use my newer one, which I believe is, oh, this is the newer one. And I happen to have the older one, which I think is a little bit more of a finer tip. And that's the one I used, although this one is running out of ink. So I'm not going to use it. It is just about gone. But we're going to use this one. It's going to work just fine. See how fine those lines are? So we're going to come into this little girl. And we're going to do, this is what I did. I did short, long, short is what I did. Short, long, short. So I'm going to start on the outside and do short, a little bit longer, and a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to do short, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. Okay? And I'm going to make that one just a little longer because I did that one too long. There we go. So short, long, short. They're just short, long, short. Oh, short, long, short. Like that. And then it just gives her a little bit of eyelashes. And she looks so cute. All right, now we're going to punch everything out. So let's punch our, we're going to punch the wings first because look, if we punch our bee, we're going to get really close to this stuff. So let's do our wings. We're going to do this one first. Okay, see that? We're going to come over to this one. So you want to be really careful what else you're punching out. Okay, so there's our second one. Our third one. My husband asked, why do I have stuff on the floor? This is why. I get little pieces that fly everywhere. Okay, so there are those. Now let's go back to our bee. We're going to cut this out first so we can have our little antenna that we need. And now let's go to our bee. So when you're stamping a bunch of stuff, you just have to be super careful. Like I could not have done these two bees close together if there was anything remotely close over there. But there wasn't. Because if I do the bees in a row, I'm usually okay. All right. And that is trash. Okay. So we'll get all of our trash out of the way. All right, so we have our bees, we have our wings, and we're going to bring in our silicone mat to put our little guys together so I don't get glue all over while I'm trying to finish this. Okay, so this one's going to go sideways. This one, we're going to do our two wings up here. And then this one, we have our two wings this way. So she's going down. See how I was really close to the edge right there and it cut straight? It doesn't matter, it's going inside. So we're just going to glue here and glue there. And I like to do one at a time. So again, the lines go, look at where your black is. And then I'm going to pull this one up. And I like to go right into the right here when I'm putting them together. All right, so there's that one. I'm going to turn it upside down because we're going to need to put dimensionals on it in a minute. And then this one, we're going to do the top one first. So again, the black line and the wing right there, the heart. And then this one, we're going to go kind of behind, but we need to put the antenna on first. Because see how this is? It's on top of it. So we can see it. So I'm going to leave some space to glue. You don't want it to go too close. The white actually, especially when it's small like this, helps you be able to see what it is. If you went too close to the black and you cut too much off, then you're not going to be able to tell. All right, so there's that. So cute. I went a little choppy right here. I'm going to cut that little kind of corner right there. There we go. All right, so there is our antenna. So we want to make sure we put that right here. And see how it's going to kind of go in front of those. So I'm going to add our glue. And I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to slide it in front. And then this one, remember this one's going to be in the back. So it's kind of like he's flying, but he's got two sets of wings. This one's on this side, this one's on the other side. So I'm going to make them farther down. Okay. And so I want to kind of turn them like this. So this antenna is kind of in the middle, but up just a little bit. Okay, does that make sense? So it just looks like it's his other wing flying on the other side. All right, so we're going to put our dimensionals on these while we're right here. As soon as I find my dimensionals. Under my gems, of course. All right, we're going to put one here right in the middle. Neither one of them are popped up on anything, so I'm going to do these two right here together. They're not sharing on top of any other layers or anything, so we're just going to do this. Then I'm going to bring in my small ones, I think, and we'll put those out on the wings. All right, and then I'm going to take these cut ones and I'm just going to kind of fill in our spaces right here. All right, and I think that's good. All right, so we're going to put those aside. In fact, I'm just going to move this whole thing over here. We are now going to do some embossing. If you do not have embossing powder, like I said, use your color. You can definitely just stamp on this if you want. We're going to also use some blends. Let's go ahead and put this together. You know how I don't like pieces just kind of hanging out, so let's put these together first so we can move stuff out of the way, because when I emboss I like to move stuff out of the way so it doesn't get all over everything if I can help it. All right, this way. Okay, so there's that. Let's put our dimensionals on here. And this is holding your piece up, so I put 4 on here to give it some good support all the way down. All right, so I'm just going to put it right about there. All right, and then make sure when you look at your card, this one is scored right here, okay? So this is going to be scored, and this is going to hold up this. So this is your bottom piece, okay? So let's go ahead and add that in. Okay. Just has a small black outline. Okay, look how pretty that is. All right, so we're going to move this aside, and this black panel, we're going to hold on to the white and move everything else kind of out. And make sure your little pieces don't fly away that you have right there. Okay. I am going to bring in just an extra piece of grid sheet here because we're going to work on this with some blends. And we're going to do some embossing. And I need to grab my embossing powder. And I'm going to use my clear. And I have my clear in a larger container. Sorry, my husband is now messaging me about my soup. I told you guys that I'm going to have an oral surgery done on my mouth, and so he's at the store like, which soup do you want? We're getting soup from Costco that's already not in cans, you know, that's made in a container. because I'm like, if I have to eat something, it better be something good. If I have to eat whatever. Okay, so back to the important stuff. You know, when you do long videos, I guess life goes on and you got to figure stuff out. All right, so I'm going to use my embossing buddy. I just kind of pounce them down and then rub them around. I pounce them down to get some powder out, and then I just rub it around. We are going to use clear, okay? We're going to use clear Versamark and the honeycomb. And this is going to be a little hard to see. So if you want to stop and emboss, you can. I don't like to do that because I don't like to get embossing powder back on this and going back to my Versamark. So I just kind of look in the light. See how you can see it shine? Let's see. You can see that shine. Let's see if you can see it. See it right there? It's shining in person. So I just kind of go, and it doesn't have to be right next to each other. You just kind of want to add stuff around. And just kind of turn it so it doesn't look the same every way. Kind of fill in the corners. So I kind of come up and then I kind of come back down underneath. And like, it does not have to match up. You just want to add some fun and texture in here. Like I just boo-booed right there, but that's okay. I'm in a corner. You could also take this into the corner like that. But then you see it goes straight, so you kind of want to pop it back up right here. So I'm good with that. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It definitely doesn't have to line up. And so you can just add it on there the best you can. Now we're adding clear because we're going to add Versamark. I mean, we're going to add color to it, right? So I have my box. I'm just going to add my clear on here. Okay. And then I just tap it so I don't get a lot all over. Turn it around. And this is kind of like, I call this mixed media. If you are embossing something and then you're coloring it and using blending brushes and, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to this. It's just kind of fill it up. Then I just like to make sure it fills up good. Then I call it like a mixed media type technique because it doesn't have to be precise or super neat or anything like that. So, all right, so there's our piece. Let me move my powder over and grab my heat tool. All right, so see how it's just around? That's what you want. All right, so I'm going to come from the bottom. Well, I'm going to go over the top because it's taking a while. And like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. This was pretty forward. If you, like I said, if you need to, stamp it. You could stamp it in white, but it takes a long time to dry. The white does take a while. See how it gets shiny? It's hard to see white when it's drying. But you'll see it in a minute when I start adding the ink to it. So what you're doing with the white embossing powder is basically you're sealing the white ink below to keep it lighter looking. And this gets very hot, so be careful of your fingers. It's really, really hard to see, I know. But you'll see some magic in a minute. All right. So now we need our brushes. So we're going to pull in the yellow, and I always start with the lighter color So I'm just going to make sure that I wipe this off a bit because I probably used the it on this card last with crushed curry. So we're going to bring in Daffodil Delight. Okay, and so now I'm going to get it on here. Oh, you know what we're going to do first, because I can feel powder on here. I'm going to turn it over. And so this side has no powder. All right, make sure it's all dry all the way. Oops, look at that. Right there it is not. On the very edge, I missed a spot. And you don't want to rub your blending brush on top of that if it's not dry. So I'm just going to look and make sure. Apparently I didn't like going over close to the edge. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're going to take our blending brush and start on the outside, but we're really focusing on the inside right now. We want a lot of the yellow on the inside. Okay, so start on the out and then go towards the middle because we want to color in that middle. And this bit is going to take a bit, but see how the white, oh, let's see, I'm going to go closer. It's really hard to tell. I'm going to put a black underneath me so you guys can see a little better maybe. All right, so we're going to start on it out and then go in. Okay. Start on the outside. But right now we want to really make sure we get that inside done because we want that with the Daffodil Delight. We're going to add more color all the way around, but right now we're focusing on the Daffodil Delight. Okay, now the more you go, the more you're layering, and this is so hard to see right now, but it will get easier in a minute. You're going to make sure your hands are clean for this. You don't want lotion on or anything because that will give you fingerprints on your projects. And you don't want that, especially when you're using blends and this kind of technique. All right, so I'm going to come back over and work my way back towards the middle. It doesn't have to be super dark. Remember, if you press hard, you get color on it, but the idea of blending is blend, 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 and you'll get the color of what you want. You'll see me do it a little harder on video because it does take a while, and I know you don't want to sit here all day and watch me. But you can tend to mess up like that because you can get, brush marks and stuff like that you don't want. And we really want it to be a soft blend. So just keep blending, blending, blending. You have more ink on your brush than you think you do. So just keep blending. I want all the outside to be blended. So see how it's kind of even. I've got a white spot in the middle there. So I'm going to blend right here a little bit more. Right up the middle. A little right here. All right, so that's pretty close. Now we've been taking our color all the way over. So I'm going to grab a tissue. And watch this. When you wipe this up, your white just becomes a little more vibrant because you're taking what little bit of ink that's holding on that white off. See? Isn't that cool? So now what we're going to do is, I think the inside looks great. So we're going to leave that. We're going to close up Daffodil Delight and we're going to pull in crushed curry because we want to make it a little richer. All right, so I'm good using the same. What I do normally is wipe this off and then you pretty much get a lot of that color, but this is way lighter than crushed curry, so I'm not worried about it. Again, be careful, this is really dark. Start off and then work your way on. And now we're, okay, I don't like doing that on the black because I don't want to pick up any black at all. So let's just move that. So now we're going to come in and you're really going to focus mostly on the honeycomb part and make that a little darker. And it's okay to make the edges super dark because it's just more, I think it's cool looking. And it just gives it that much more depth. Okay. Oh, see, there goes my stomach again. It's been growling all day. All right, so see how cool that looks with the brown. And we're just going to kind of work our way towards the middle. And you could add more honeycomb if you want, but you don't have to. It's whatever works for you. But I think adding the crushed curry really adds richness to the card. So notice I'm holding the top because I just like to give it that support. And plus I am wanting to darken this up, so I'm a little firmer on it. So see how rich that's starting to look with all that dark honey goodness on there? I don't know if you guys have heard me mention that my son-in-law is a beekeeper in Montana. They make honey in Montana, and then he comes here about an hour north of us, which is where all my in-laws live. And that's how our youngest met him, was through some friends up there when he was in town, because he does pollination. He brings the bees to pollinate the almond trees here. And so he's here like about 3 months out of the year. And so he comes and works up here with the bees. And it was funny when we went to go visit, I think I mentioned this on a video, that he said, just get out of the car and just ignore them. Just walk like they're not even here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they did not even care we were there. I just walked. I said, I'm going to make a beeline to the house. And that's exactly what I did. All right. So what we're going to do is take our tissue and we're going to wipe off again. So our white is as white as we can get it. Okay. Is that cool? And we could add more and more and more. We can make it super dark, but it's whatever you want with it. So that's that. All right. Now, what I should have done, and I'm just remembering, I did the same thing last time, is see, I should have stamped the little zigzags before I did the embossing, but that's okay. We are okay. We will make it work. All right. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add it to the, no, I'm not. I was going to add it to the black panel, but I'm not going to. And there's a reason. I'll tell you in a minute. All right. We are going to bring in our trees. If I put it on the black panel, I'm not going to be able to trim the tree branches and stuff and make them just exactly so. So we're going to put our tree branch on here. All right. And then we have another tree branch that's going to go up here. But let's put our flowers on. So, and our branches and our leaves. So you're going to have a lot of leaves. Just put them out there. Place them however you'd like. I like to cluster a few up. So on here, this is what I did. I did a large one with a little 2 there, 2, 2. This is a large 3, a 3, and a 2. So just kind of cluster as many, whatever you think that makes it look good. And what I like to do is put the branches on and then lay out the flowers and the leaves. So let's put the branches on first. So our branches are going to go right about here. And see what I mean? They're not angled right. So we're going to have to cut that little edge off. But you also want to put your bee on there. So you got to have enough room for your bee. So this one is going to go up here. And I've noticed I've got a little extra glue that oozed. So I want to get that off. There we go. All right. So let's do our branch, and we're just going to add a little bit of glue on your branch. Oof. Now you should have yellow fingers like I do. All right, so here it is. We're going to just add it. Right there. Okay, so that's one. And then we're going to add this one. Remember, you need to leave room for your branches and your leaves, especially this top one. I'll show you what I mean. I always have to keep looking to make sure that my timer is still going on my video, because that's the worst thing to think about, is that you're just going on and your video has stopped, but it's still going, so that's a good thing. All right, so we're going to put a big leaf right there, so you definitely want to make sure you have enough room to put your big leaf there. So we're just going to put that right like that. Okay, and we'll trim those in a minute, don't worry about them. Now let's worry about our flowers. So take your flowers, there's a couple things. You can use your hand, but I also like using my piercing mat. So use your piercing mat, put your flowers all on here. You should have 10. And face them all up the right way. All right, so get them all on there. And then I just take the end of my tool and I just poke them in the middle. You're just kind of breaking up those fibers, but it's a great way to give them a little body, and then you can add your gem in the middle when you're done. All right, so there we go. There's all of our flowers, so that's good. You don't need to do anything with the leaves. But now we're going to try and put our leaves and flowers where we want. So I'm going to just kind of go off of what I did here. So I'm going to do them slowly, and I'll show you what I did. I'm going to take a large one. I'm going to use tweezers because it just helps. And I'm going to put that right on this branch right here. Okay. Then I'm going to take a flower and I just add glue on it because you want those ends to kind of pop up. And I'm just going to set it right down at the base of those leaves. Okay, so there's one. Then I'm going to take a 3-leaf one again. And I had somebody help me with these, so hopefully it's the exact same leaves. I'm going to put this one here. And then I think we should lay them out and just kind of make sure we have what we want. Just to make sure I don't use all the big ones or little ones somewhere. Okay, so we're going to put a big one right here. We're going to put a 2-leaf one underneath that branch right here. We're going to put a 2 underneath right here. I'm just kind of sticking them there for right now, just to make sure we have the right amount. We're going to put a 2 right here, a 3, and a 2. All right, so that's what we're doing there. We're going to put, let me bring these over here. See how much brighter and prettier those look? The garden green was just a little not as bright as I wanted. All right, we're going to put a 3 here with a 2. We're going to put a 3 and a 2, a 3, a 3, a 2, and a 2. So I think I have an extra 3, which is perfectly fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, so I'm good. This is what I want. So we're going to take this one, and you don't have to put glue all the way on them, so holding them on the end is fine. You just want enough to where they're not going to go anywhere. This one's going to go right underneath this leaf right here. So this branch. So I'm going to lift that just a tiny bit with my pokey tool, and I'm just going to slide that under just so it kind of looks like it's coming from the other side. And then we are going to take this one here and I'm going to add it right here on this leaf. And then we're going to add this one. So I just extended some leaves out because I wanted to put more flowers. So you can just kind of make it look like you're adding more leaves, so that you can add more leaves and make it look like the branches are longer, and then that way you can add more flowers on it. It looks a little better. All right, we're going to add that one here, and I actually had that one kind of looking downward, like it was kind of just to fill up some space a little bit. But yes, remember you're going to put a sentiment right here, and it can kind of adjust, so that's fine. And then we're going to take this one. And again, I'm going to lift this up here. Oops, that up. There we go. All right, and this one's not on. See what I'm doing? I'm just barely putting them under a little bit. And just sliding it. Okay. All right, so let's put those flowers on since we're right here. So let's just I'm still laughing that I had to go get the groceries from that guy. What a bad planning on my side. Okay, so then I like to come back and just kind of make sure, you know, especially when that glue just kind of starts to tack up a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to put one on the end out here. So once they start getting tacky, that's when you can really, and dry, they don't slide, so you can kind of come back in and, oops, and make sure that they're stuck. Okay, now let's do these leaves. We're going to do a large one here. Make sure I'm in camera. And again, you can leave no glue on that very end because you know you're going to stick a leaf underneath there, so that's fine. Or you can put it on, lift it up just a little bit because this leaf is going next, so that won't be all the way dry quite yet. And then just slide it right there. Okay. All right. This one's going to go under that branch again like it did up above. So just slide a little piece. You kind of want it between here and this one here. All right. Almost there. Sometimes when you're just doing one card, you're like, oh, that's a lot of leaves, and that's a lot of flowers to do. This flower, by the way, came from a retired punch that I had, which is this little tiny guy here, and I could not find it to list it. So this came in a trio pack, I think, or a 4-pack of little tiny punches a long time ago. And I think there was like a heart and a star. I don't know. There were several different ones. So I just wanted you to know where that came from. And it's not listed because I couldn't find it. It didn't pop up on my blog search thing. My blog, oh, what do you call it? Blog shop for my products. So I'm gonna just bend. You can just also bend that just a tiny bit so that you know where you can slide that in. All right, we'll put that there. And our last leaf. Just need a little bit of glue and slide that right there. All right, now for our flowers. Uh-oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I missing a flower? Oh, that's not good. Well then. All right, I'll find another one. Hold on. There we go. I don't know what happened to it, but so that's why I never get rid of punches. A lot of times I may get rid of the stamp set because it just wasn't my thing, or I know I won't use it again. I have something like it or whatever, but I don't get rid of my punches. And sometimes I think about it, like for example, the cat set. I have not gotten rid of those punches because there might be another set coming with the cat, but I usually buy the bundle anyway because it's a bundle and you save. But I've seen stuff come back around that doesn't come with the punch, but the punch would work. So that's why I just don't get rid of my punches. I'm laughing, my stomach's still growling. I know I mentioned, if you guys have taken a class from me before, I've mentioned it is a lot harder to do a video without an audience. Like when you're here during bingo, I can chat with you and read your chats and, but when you're not, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. But it's okay because you'll get to listen to it eventually. I hope you're having fun with your creating. I just thought this card was so fun. My friend that helped me, she thought this was a yellow cardstock. And I thought it was too. And this might have been yellow, which is why I was trying to look. No, okay, so this is white paper. But what happened was I colored it with daffodil first, the whole thing. And then I added the honeycomb. But then after the fact, I thought the white would just really make it pop a lot better, which it does. And so that's why I decided to change it and go with the white, because you can definitely see the honeycomb a lot better. And I liked the detail of it being more vibrant. So that's why I changed a few things. So I changed the color of the leaves from what my original was. I just really liked it a lot better. All right, so let's place our bee. So this little guy is going to go here. And then this guy is going to go, this little girl with her lashes are going to go over here. And then we need to put our sentiments. So let's see. You make my heart buzz. So it's really going to go. This one can go down a little bit. All right. So I'm going to stamp that. And you can't really stamp it before you do your flowers and everything. Let's push these down because you just don't know your spacing. You could do it before if you wanted to, and then you would have to adjust your flowers to make that fit. but I didn't mind doing it this way, so it's totally up to you. You could definitely do it to where your sentiment is on there first, and then you adjusted your flowers and your bees around that. This is going to fit just fine right here. My U is going to go there. My T is going to go right there. Okay, so there's my sentiment. Fine. And now we want to do our little buzzing. So we're going to do it like right across there. It may not come out that great because of our bumps on there already, but we're going to put that about there. So I'm going to just put this like right here. Okay, so that's fine. I want to wipe this off so I don't get it on my project. And then this one over here, I'm going to do the curly down this way. I'm going to do this one this way. So I want the curl to go right about there. So I'm going to do the other side. I always do a little extra, even though you're not quite sure how it's going to go. And I'm going to do this one like right here. And hope that fits fine. All right, so now let's put our little bees on here. So we're going to put our bee. And it doesn't have to be right at the tush of the bee. It could just be, it was buzzing along. Putting my dimensionals in the trash. This is project 3. And I will timestamp the stamp, so don't worry about that, the video. We're going to put her right there. And then we're going to put him. Ooh. So your thank you card for this class is going to be another card for inspiration, I hope. All right, I'm going to put him going down a little ways, like he's on his way to go see his girlfriend. All right, now let's go ahead and adhere this to our black piece right here. And we're going to cut our trees first, the stems, and that's why I adhere to the white first. There's a lot of coloring, and you don't want to mess with it on your on the black and doing all of your blending and everything. So we're just going to cut that and cut that. Okay. Yay. All right, so there's our piece. Now what we're going to do is we need to put glue right here. Okay, now when you do this, remember this is going to be the same size as this. So I would move it downward like this. We're going to add glue right here. This is kind of a motion piece, so I prefer to add glue than seal, because this is going to be sitting up and holding on to that other little piece. You're going to go right to the edge to edge. And it's kind of hard to tell with black, but you want to make sure you are right on that edge. We're only doing that bottom half. Just hold it, hold it, hold it. All right. Now look, isn't that cute? So in your kit, you're going to have your gems. And I believe I used the small ones, and I don't know if I have small ones. Oh yeah, I do. Silver. I have a lot of these. I love these. Okay, so we're going to take the silver ones and just add them in the middle of your flowers. And that just really makes your card sparkle. Oh, hello. I should have put like a BRB or something, or went to, I used to have one of those just in case, you know, you never know what's going to happen in the middle of a video. And that you just have a BRB on there in case somebody's, you know, ran to the bathroom and came back and then we were gone. And like, wait, where did she go? Guess I should do that because that was unexpected. But look how pretty with all your little gems. And then there's your card. So there is project number 3. So notice the difference between the honeycomb. I really like how this one shines better. Like I said, I did daffodil on this one first. Then I did the embossing, and then I added the darker, but this just didn't pop as much as I wanted it to. I love how that one pops, and it just really, really is out there for you to see the difference. So look at that. And then, of course, I think the shaded spruce leaves are so much more fun and vibrant. I just really thought that card was a lot better. So, yay, project number 3. Project number 4 is a 3D project. I really think you're going to like it. I do. I got it from my downline, Olivia. And she cased it. And now, for the life of me, I believe it was Julia D'Amato. The Paper Pixie. I believe it was hers. But this is the project. Look how cute our little box is. And I meant to grab the lotion. I don't have it here with me. Let me see. Maybe it's in my drawer. I took it out and put it somewhere safe. You know how that goes. And I put it somewhere safe. And then I thought about it last night that, oh, I should have brought my lotion so that I could show you that stuff can fit in there. But here, let's give you an example. Here's a Purell. Let's see if this fits in there. But the lotions from Bath & Body Works, the small lotions, fit. Also, the little tube lotions, those fit too. And this fits. It's a little bit taller. So if you were going to do that, of course, you're going to make sure about your belly band, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But anyway, there's lots of little things you can put in here. So it is a great little box with a belly band. And so I will show you how we did it. I made my band a little tight, so this next one will not be as tight. It is on there and it is not going anywhere, but you can get it off. All right, so here's what your kit is going to look like. So let's take everything out. And on this one, I gave you step by step and lots of pictures. So I will show you as we go. Now remember that this video and this class, you paid for it, so it's not free to other people. So please don't share the video. I would really appreciate that. And keep it for yourself for the future. That way you can use it and create other projects. So, all right, so I'm going to zoom back out here so that you can see your full piece of paper. This is all scored, and this is what you're going to get. I'm going to show you this picture here. All right, and in the file that I gave you, your PDF, this is what you have here. So I put case from Olivia because I think she changed a few things, and anyway, that's where I got it from. And so this is the directions I created and came up with all of this so that it would be easy for you to follow. But it tells you right here, this is your little legend. The line is to score. So these are all scored, and I already scored them for you. Here's the measurements and everything for you. You're going to trim away all of the pink stuff. So let's do that. So that's this picture. So we'll go ahead and use this for the picture, but you have it right here. And then the squiggly lines are the glue. So if they're pink, you trim them away. If they're dark, you glue them. I'm going to close my windows because it's dark. Okay, so we're going to, I'm going to put this one aside because we don't need it. We're going to go with this. So we are going to trim away items. So I'm going to show you what I would do. I use my larger scissors, so it's totally up to you which you prefer. But I am going to trim away this. Okay, 2 things to learn. Notice up at the top, this is a little more rectangle than this is. Okay, this is longer down here, and it talks about all of that in your image here. Notice the square is on the bottom and the one on the top is more rectangle. And that's this one. So, oh, well, this one's more square. I'm pointing to this one in the image. This one is more square. This one is more rectangle, but I'm looking at these two. The longer one is on the bottom, okay? Longest one on the bottom. And you'll see that in the picture too. It's just looks just like this. Longer one on the bottom than this one up here, okay? So this is what you have. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take off what it says to take off. I left this for you because I wanted you to kind of see it. And it's really hard to see black pictures on here. So we're just going to go with me cutting with what I can see. It's hard to see black anyway, I have to tell you, when you're trying to cut this. So I'm going to go 2 down. 2 over. So I cut first. I don't get fancy and do anything else, even though some other things to do. Make sure you cut first. Okay, there's that one. This side, the top 4 go. So same as the other side. But I look at one side at a time because I do not want to get mixed up. And remember, I flipped this upside down. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to flip it back the other way. So I flipped it upside down like this. And now I have to take this piece off right here. So just make sure, double check, triple check, look at your images here on your cutout before you cut. All right, so you're looking at this and now looking back up at my grid thing and my pattern here, you're going to do this one. So double and triple check. I give you the score marks and everything for this so you can recreate it. Okay, so I have trimmed away, double checking everything that I need to trim away. All right, so there's that. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to round these corners. So I'm looking to make sure I'm not missing anything. I noticed that this I cut really weird. I did it kind of in between the line, but I need to trim this just a little bit. There. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to round the corners. And I have a corner rounder that I had on my desk. What did I do with it? And I show you pictures in the file here. So when you look at this, and you do not have to round the corners. I show you that you have to fold your pieces so that you can round your corners. But you do not have to round your corners, okay? But I'm going to. So I'm going to fold this in. These are all score marks. All right, I'm going to move that in and cut. And then I'm going to turn this one in while I'm over here, while this is folded. Okay, make sure it's in there. And cut. Then I'm going to fold this side. Make sure it's in there right. And cut. I remember going to convention and they were showing us how to use this because it was a new 3-corner thing. And there. It wasn't this one. I think it was the other one that we had. Okay, so that's that. And now your box is going to go like this. This is going to be your flap, right? Because you've got the top of it and the flap. I want the flap also rounded. So I'm going to round those. Make sure that's in the corner. And you're going to see on this, see how it has a little picture rounded with the pink? Because that's what you cut away, rounded, and then it's pink. And same over here and over here. Okay, so that is for your rounded corners, all right? All right, so now we have our piece. And this is all done and ready, right? But we need to score. So we need to score these triangles right here, okay? We need to score and score. So that's where I said the line is a score. It's right here and right here. So make sure you're doing it the right way. We're going to go this way and we're going to go this way. These boxes fold flat. Okay. So when you open this up, if you wanted to make a bunch for whatever reason, you just fold this up like this and they fold completely flat. Okay. So you're going to do this and pop them together like right before you're going to give them away, or, you know, fill them up with some treats or whatever. But we need to score those first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I do it on the scoreboard. I don't want all my stuff to get lost here. My gems, my little flowers. Okay, so get your blade out of the way. You don't want your blade. Look at your paper. I'm going from here to here. So put this right inside, okay? And then you're going to close this, and then you have to find that little corner. You can see this on in between here, but you don't know where that is. So if you have your corner there, you close it, then you adjust the bottom right where that crisscrossed score mark is. Then you hold this up, you bring your score right to where you need it, and then you score right there. Okay? I know it's hard to see. Then you score. This one's going to go from inside out. So inside out, inside out. Okay? You don't want to do it this way because you're not going out. You're coming inside. There's more here. You're going to the corner. Inside to the corner. Okay? So same thing. You're going to put that down. And it's black, so it's a little hard to see. There you go. I'm going to lift it up. Come right to where I want it. And I'm scoring. Same thing here. Inside out. So I'm going to go to my tip. It is there. I need to adjust this one here. And then move this right here. Okay, and you can kind of feel the score mark when you come back. Just try not to come too far, and you're going to kind of run into that score mark. So you don't go too far. All right, same here. We got the tip. I'm going to move the back a little bit. Make sure your tip is still there. And I'm there. Okay, so there we go. Now I have all of those scored. All right, so next on your picture, you're going to see, let's add our DSP next. Okay, so here's our DSP. So we're going to add it. This is the inside of the box. Okay, so we are going to turn it over and do our DSP. So take your DSP and add it where it goes. So just make sure it fits where it goes. This there, this there. This goes on the flap. This goes on the lid. These go on the edges. So now the lid one, the flap, okay, is thinner, the thinnest one. This one, you want your corners done, okay, because you did your flap, you want to do this too. Again, if you don't do the corners, if you don't have a corner rounder, then just leave them straight. Okay, so there's one. Make sure you're doing, don't go like this, because then you're going to have this corner rounded and this one, and that's not going to look good. You want, you know, the same one facing down. All right, so there we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue these on. I think I'm going to use glue. It's probably a little faster than this. It's totally up to you what you want to do. If you use glue and you do it just a little bit on there and kind of put it on there and spread it around, it's fine. I already started with this, but if you use glue, just use a little bit of glue. And then when you put it on, just kind of rub it so that it kind of spreads. All right. I love this box. Okay, remember that this is the bottom, so make sure this is nice and straight. And like I said, it's black. It can be a little hard to look at. I'm going to turn this so I can see it. It's closer to me. Okay, when you're doing the front like this and the back, you kind of want to make sure you line them up the best you can, because they're going to come up and across and down. And even though they're not right next to each other, you want them fairly close. So try to make sure they line up as close as possible. Using a directional or, a directional friendly paper like the plaid is really smart. If you're using something like hearts and they're only facing one way, it's a little harder to work with. So just keep that in mind. It definitely can work, but just know that you need to kind of think about that when you're putting it on. All right. And be careful. This glue is so sticky and the adhesive can really stick, and with DSP you want to be careful. All right, so I'm going to lay this down carefully because I want to look to make sure it's lining up okay on both sides, and I think that's good. I've got a little bit of tape right there. All right, so here's our box. So now it says add your DSP to the box, round the corners of the DSP for the large flat piece, and you adhere it to the box. Turn your project over. Okay, DSP down. So if you happen to do this before you put your DSP on, you definitely want to make sure you turn it over. This is where you're going to put your glue. All right. So now we're going to score everything. And you can score it with your bone folder if you want. You could just fold it. Totally up to you, whatever works for you. I just turn everything over and score it all. Every piece. All right. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fold these pieces inward. Okay. You're going to fold inward because what's going to happen is it's going to go like this. You're going to have that box pop up. All right. Inward and inward. All right. And they're going to score nicely and flat. So what you can do is you can pull those up. I'm going to look at this and show you so you can see what you're doing. You're going to pull it up. They're glued to the back, okay? Glued to the front, glued to the back. So right here, you're going to notice you're putting glue on the back. But you want to, when they're up, you want them flush. Okay, so when you put them together, make sure that this piece right here is flush and not like, sticking out. You want to make sure that this isn't sticking out, okay? So what we're going to do is hold it out and follow your directions right here, and you're going to add glue. You're going to put glue on this back corner, okay? And then you're going to put glue on this back corner. I do them all at one time. You don't have to. If you want to do one side and then the other, that's fine. And then I'm going to do this one. Because they're scored, they pretty much fold up really nicely. And then we're going to do this one. Oops. This one. Remember, glue will squish, so you want to do it kind of towards the middle, not necessarily to the very edge. All right, so like that. And now we're going to pull this up. And actually, the easiest way, fold it in. Just fold it in. It's the easiest way to do it. Don't try and fold it up because you don't need to. This is how it should go. And you can tell your edges are smooth right here. Make sure they're glued all the way. Okay. And now, we forgot to fold those, so just fold those in. It's fine. And now here's your box. It pops right up. Okay. And then it folds over. And so there's your box. Okay. Oops, except I don't have my adhesive on here. There we go. All right, so there we go. So there's your box all folded. And now we need to do our belly band. And then we have some decorating to do. So with the belly band, I went ahead and glued this right onto the front. So just go ahead. I did the red on the outside. You could do whichever you want. All right, we're going to do here. I do not score my belly band around first. I do it, I put it all together. This is what's going to go around. And then I do it like this. I put my box together. I don't know why this is not, oh, it's because this isn't glued right here. Glue your corners because a little better, Marcie. That way your, now I'm going to let that get tacky before I push it down. But it looks like it's poking out, so it looks like this isn't fitting in right, and it is. It's just, see, my adhesive is not all the way on right there, so that's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I do this on the top. Okay, and then I just, with my fingers, create my belly band. All right. So with my fingers, I create it. So now I'm going to slide it off. And then I just kind of fold it like this is where it's going. And then this is where it's going. It's already got a mark there. Okay. But then I cut this down. I'm going to cut this down right here. This is going to come like this. I don't need it to go all the way over because I'm going to put my decorations there. If you notice, on this one, I sealed it here, but I don't always do that. This was wrong. I like to do it on the top. So I don't know when I did that, I wasn't really thinking because I've always done it like this. So just cut it off. All right, you're going to add your glue here and add glue there. Right? Oh, I think I added too much glue. All right, that's okay, we'll fix it. So I'm going to go around like this. I'm going to take a little glue off. All right, so now we're going to get our box. We're going to put this on like this. We're going to bring this up and adhere it there. Okay. Make sure it's nice and straight. Adhere it. Slide that off. And we're going to adhere it. And you can use adhesive or seal or whatever you want. When I did it, I put it down too far. Put it because I cut some off. You want to make sure you put it just on the edge. Take that glue off, and I can use an eraser in a minute. All right, so now I know where I'm going to take that glue off right there. But for now, I'm just going to add a piece of black paper in there. So if you mess that up, like I just did, just take a piece of black paper, a nice straight piece. I don't need that much. And I'm going to do just under 1.5. Because I goofed, I'm going to add this right where that other adhesive is that I didn't need. Right here. Because I goofed. And added the heat. So see how it goes right here? But this does not go all the way in. It stops like right here. So I had adhesive right here. So I'm going to add just that little black piece so that it doesn't stick to my project. Because silly me. And see, this is how my everyday crafting goes. You just figure it out as you go. Move the glue that you got on your project. If you don't have a glue eraser, you need one. I need one, that's for sure. All right. Now, here's our box. You can glue that down. Oh, this one. There. Now, I have this on the top, the opening on the top. Again, now my belly band's going to be tight. There we go. All right, so there's our belly band. It's on the top. See, on the bottom, it's nice because we're going to add stuff on top. So let's take our 2 pieces of white paper. We are going to take our white paper and make our bee. So we're going to do the black again. And you can change it up if you want. I just did black black wings. Black wings. We need nothing. I didn't put anything on the inside. You can if you want to. I didn't. I wanted it to be a little more crisp on the front. I need Daffodil Delight. Same thing, ink it up really, really well. Look at the top and bottom. For your bee, we did the cute little smiley face. Where is it? Right here. I did not put antennas on this one because I was afraid pulling him on and off that they would break, but because otherwise they would be like right here above his face to have it on top of here. But you could if you want. And I did a cute little, oops, he's going this way. Pay attention to the way he's going to go. I did a cute little smiley face right there. All right, we're going to do a red heart. We'll do that in a minute. Let's cut this one out. So let's do our heart. So there's that. And then it's going to be this way. And there's our bee. The grass I used is from the Sending Love mailbox set. So we have this grass right here. And this is how it cuts. It stays attached on the one end and on the other, so you can pull it out. We're just going to put the fluffiest, which is like about right here, I think, right there. So what I did is I just did a line on the label, a line of glue, and I'm just going to lay the grass down right here. Attach it there. We're going to move that over. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the Love You stamp, which, oh, maybe I already have it out. Oh, I do, right here. The Love You. And we are going to white emboss right here. So we're going to, I really wanted it on the heart, so let's add our embossing powder, our Versamark. And it barely fits. So what we're going to do is add that on here first and emboss it. Let me grab my white embossing powder. These little containers, there's 4 in a little tray, and you get them from Amazon. And I'm just going to do it right inside my box right here. So see, with your embossing powder and everything, your if you get the adhesive kit, the embossing kit, it has a tray, a brush, an embossing buddy, and I think, oh, and the wonderful tweezers that I love. All right, so here we go. We are just about done. So there it goes, it's starting to turn white. There you go. All right, so now we need our heart. I like to let it cool just a little bit. Let's think about our bee first here. Let's do our bee. We're going to add all right, so there's our bee. We're going to add him here, so we need to add our blue, our balmy blue. Whew. Don't drop your stamps on the glass. And we're going to do the blue just right off of the edge right here. Okay. And wipe our blue off. All right, so now we don't need this anymore. We're just about there. We're going to use dimensionals on our bee, so we can pop them up. There's 1 and 2, and I'm going to put 1 low on the bee right there, just to keep those wings, because see how they're off up here. I'm going to make sure we have those on there. We're going to trim this. So now we added our grass. So from the back, I just kind of, you can trim upwards this way. And then you can leave that straight right there. You can curve it. You can do whatever you want right there. Bring that down. I adhered it a little too high, so I see white. I'm going to take that off. It's so little, but I can see it. All right. And I am going to curve around it. I just think it looks better. Go around the curves. All right, so see how I just went right around the curves and went with it. And we're going to punch that out with our bee punch and the heart. And so just make sure you get all the words on there, so if they're not exactly straight, it's okay. You just want to make sure you get those words on the heart. So there's our heart. All right, so now think about where your heart's going to be and where your bee is going to be. I think the bee right here is fine. And if you have your dimensional, like we stuck it at the bottom, if it's sticking out, just be careful of that. And then let's put our dimensional on our heart. And what I'm going to do is do one at the bottom. And then I'm going to do 2 halves, the ones I cut over here, for the heart. There we go. Oh, cute. Put the little heart there. Now don't forget your flowers. Everybody has different ones. There's some white ones and pale pink ones. We're just going to put those on. I just did every other one. You can cluster them together if you want, or spread them out, whatever works for you. I just like them across. All right, so this is going to go on top up here, and I did do dimensionals. And so don't put them on here, put them on your belly band so that you know they're going to make it on here, right? It's going to go this way. All right, so they're all on the belly band. It's in the center of your box, so you can just kind of center everything. All right, so there's the center. There's that. And you just need some of these gems. We're going to put a large one right there. We'll do a little one down there. All right, so there's that box. Here's the other one. Again, they fold nice and flat. I did do my belly bands a little snug. You can loosen them up if you'd like. Put the lid in first because it's easier. And then there we go. So there are the boxes. Let's move this out. So we have the box. We have card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3, and then our project number 4. There we go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the class. It was a lot of fun creating. I had so much fun. Let me know if you're interested in a perennial one. I'm thinking of doing one. So I did my first fancy fold card, thinking that I may do all fancy fold in the class. So we'll see. I hope you enjoyed them, everybody. I hope you had a good time. Congratulations to Maria Rendon, is the one that got this little cutie patootie. And so this will be coming in your package. The packages will be going out on Tuesday. I need to do all the postage and everything and get everything ready. They're all in the bags, they're ready to go. I didn't forget anything in the kits, that's good. A couple things, I hope you guys remember not to do what I did on a few things. I like to put the belly band thing on the top, which I did do today, but not on the past one. I did like doing the white versus doing the Daffodil Delight first and then the white. This I liked a lot better. And you guys saw the other little boo-boos I did. And don't order mail or shopping delivery when you're going to be on live on video. So sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for participating, and I hope to see you in a class soon. Bye, everybody.